Hello and welcome back to the 10th episode of the Dlsone podcast. I'm your host for this episode, Daniel Goodman, or DG Cubes.
I'm Daniel Karnock, or Derpy Cuber.
I'm Avocado, or #Cuber.
I'm Allison Lee, or the Programming Cuber.
I'm Adam Vetzer, or the Rubik's Cubed.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to discuss in this episode is Derpy Cuber. So you might have noticed that Derpy Cuber is here currently, and we would like to explain his current status as a member of the podcast team and everything.
I'm silver medal.
Yeah, so so pretty much Derpy is a host of the podcast, and he has been for the last couple episodes, but he hasn't been. Because he's... So yeah, he was going to be the host on the 8th episode with Pavan, but he couldn't make it to that one, so, you know, he's technically been a host for a while, but this is his first time actually being a host with us. So, pretty much the way it's gonna work is, we're going to sort of rotate a little bit. We're going to try to keep 4 hosts per episode because 5 can get a little chaotic, I think, and we generally agree with that. But, you know, when somebody can't make it, we'll be replaced, so we'll usually have, like, 4 hosts per episode, which is why Derpy is here. Today we don't have a guest just to initiate Derpy as a host and everything like that. Yay. So, you know, he's sort of like a new member of the Dlsone podcast family, and we're really happy to have him here.
Also, it's our 10-year anniversary, so...
Yes, it is our 10 Dlsone year anniversary. So,
Yay, clap it up, everyone.
This is, like, ridiculously awkward. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to say about Derpy's host status. He's going to be here with us for this episode, so that's pretty exciting. And now we have one other explanation, which I'm going to let Allison talk about. And this is about a topic we discussed in our last episode with Andrew, which is philately. So Allison, I'll let you take it away a little bit.
Surprisingly, there weren't that many questions raised in the comments. Like, I thought there'd be, like, a bunch of questions in the comments, like, what in the heck? So basically, if you don't remember, last episode... Andrew and I explained this very elaborate story about how we met at a philately competition in 2010.
Philately is stamp collecting for those uninitiated.
Which is stamp collecting, yeah. Yeah, so we met at this competition, and then we had like these nicknames like the Asian Invasion and like Stamp Man or something. Okay, we confused all of the hosts, but there actually weren't that many comments. So Andrew contacted me the night before we recorded the podcast, and he was like, do you want to troll the rest of the people on the rest of the hosts? And I was like, sure. So, like, that night, we just created this document with, like, this explanation of what a philately competition is, like, what a stamp collecting competition is, and, like, how it works. And then we even had, like, blocks, like, if they asked us why, like, we didn't mention this until now, it was because we didn't realize that it was the same person or whatever. Like, we had, like, a bunch of stuff just written down as notes for this story. And then I kept it, I'm pretty sure none of the hosts actually really believed it until by the end of this month. Because it's been, well, okay, yeah, we pretty thoroughly confused each other.
I believed it at the end of the podcast, not till the end of the month.
Yeah. So after a month, I'm pretty sure, like, none of them really believed it. But, yeah, so I'm just... just gonna clear that up on this next episode of the podcast.
They did a really good job, like, to make it barely believable enough for you to question yourself, right? But I was thinking of ways to, like, disprove it, right? And so the idea I came up with, and this happened in the podcast, where DG went on the site and said, oh, do you know who this is, or this is, or this is? And Allison would say, oh, yeah, I remember them from the competition, right? So my idea is I went on the website, pretend like I was finding somebody, say a fake name, and if she said yes, then it's fake. So that's what I did. Later, when DG and I were talking to Allison, yesterday. I went on the website. Yeah, yesterday.
Yesterday of the time recording this podcast.
Yeah. And I pulled up the competition that they said they went to, which actually doesn't exist. It's a long story.
Yeah. And, it doesn't exist. We made up the location and everything.
And I said a name of somebody I know from school, and she said, oh yeah, I remember that person.
I didn't say it confidently though. I was kind of like, vaguely.
She said vaguely, I remember that person. Anyway, so... And then she came clean, and I found a picture of the winner from that competition. I posted it in the show notes. The middle person is the winner, and I doubt there are any kids that are winners. Just as, if you're not in the show notes, it's like older men. So
we're like
There are no kids competing in philately.
Yeah.
and then Andrew was Adam was like, this is Andrew from 6 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. The middle person winning the award is Andrew from 6 years ago.
Definitely.
Adam, I'd like to commend you for your great job on disproving them. That was genius. And also, Allison and Andrew, if you're listening, good job. That was also genius.
It also was sort of not believable because it's Andrew.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was so sure that was going to be, like, a pun or something. And also, can I just say one other thing? Like, a couple weeks ago, I said to Allison, because I was very doubtful, I was like, Allison, if this was fake, like, when would you tell us? And she said, maybe the next podcast or something. And, like, that's, like, a little suspicious.
Yeah.
I was very unsure.
Like, after the podcast, I was already kind of like, I didn't want to keep up the story for like that long, you know. It was like, I don't know, it's hard to keep up a fake story that we made up in like 30 minutes for that long.
My favorite part was when Andrew, like, made up a name on the spot, and you, like, gave the most unenthusiastic yeah to him.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, yeah, I know him. As if you, like, didn't even care. It was, like, so, like, not believable.
It was pretty good, though. I bought it. I'll admit to it.
The funny part was Andrew was gonna choose like an even earlier year, and I was like, no, that doesn't work because I was like 4 years old.
That's funny.
Yeah, by the way, there are philately competitions, but the basis of those competitions are who can make the best exhibit for stamps.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. Ours was like picking out the rarest stamp in like 10 minutes.
I'm really surprised we didn't get any angry philatelists commenting on the podcast. Like, this isn't how it works at all.
Yeah, I didn't know that existed either.
Yeah, I don't think there are that many people who know philately exist. I mean, he came up with most of the idea because it's Andrew, but and then he like looked it up, and philately is like technically the study of stamps, not stamp collecting. So that like we didn't like neither of us I don't think bothered to look up if there's actually a competition for that until the actual podcast when DG decided to look it up.
So you helped them out, DG. Congratulations.
I'm sorry. Anyway, so we're gonna continue on. Before we get to our Q&A, I have one very quick announcement that I'd like to make, and that is that we now have a .com. So we are no longer dlsonepodcast.esy.es. So change your bookmarks and all that stuff. We're dlsonepodcast.com. And
Well, you don't
if
have to change
yet,
your bookmark because it just redirects
you don't have to.
to.
Yeah, redirects, but still change them anyway. we don't want any trace of the esy.es. We don't want it.
Yeah.
Well, it's still in my skit, so.
Yeah. Take it down. No.
No, it's funny.
It is good. But yeah, so we're currently dlsonepodcast.com, and I believe we will be forever.
No, we want to be dlsonepodcast.pizza sometime soon.
Yes.
dlsonepodcast.gov.
So if you haven't before checked out our website, make sure to do that now. I've pretty much poured my heart and soul into that thing, so hopefully you like it and can find some uses for it.
Disgusting, but okay.
Don't destroy DG's heart and soul.
DG, did you put more effort into that or FaceCube?
That? Are you kidding me? Oh, can I give FaceCube a quick shout out? If you haven't checked it out before, make sure to check out facecube.esy.es. It's the new cubing alternative to Facebook. And make sure you're on a computer, not on mobile when you're checking it out, because that's really the only way to truly look at it and take in all its glory.
So we're moving on to the Q&A now. So the first question is from the Meme Lord. And their question is, what is your favorite thing about making this podcast?
Awkward silences.
Wow.
Nothing.
That really shows how much we love our podcast.
It's terrible.
It's definitely.
I hate
it's
recording this.
It's much rarer just in general to get everybody in one place at once if it's not organized. So probably my favorite part is having everybody in one place so we can talk to everybody at once, because it's not like our schedules other than that align very much.
Yeah.
So
My favorite part is not having to edit.
No, like definitely I prefer recording to editing, and like honestly the podcast is one of my favorite things that I'm doing like in cubing at this point in time. It's so much fun to just sit here for like an hour and just talk about all these things, and I don't know, it's just really awesome.
If we're talking like about philately for 13 minutes, I think it's more than an hour.
True.
And also having the guests on is pretty cool because some of these people are like people we don't usually talk to. I mean, well, like we're pretty friendly with most of them, obviously, but we don't talk to them on a regular basis, really. So getting them on for like an entire hour is pretty cool.
Yeah, like it's really cool to learn more about people who like you know a little bit, or even if you don't know them at all before, like Chris and Damien and Elise and all the people we had on. It's really cool to get to know them better and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so the next question comes from Cameron McKee, who said, "For everyone, do you get much credit in school for having a successful YouTube channel?"
No.
I do.
People don't even know. Like,
I keep it on the down low. I only tell people I know who won't spread it.
yeah, because like
I just have like some of my friends and stuff who
people are gonna play your video in class.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Do you want that to happen?
Somebody, like one of my like acquaintances, somebody I didn't really know, just in my class, somehow it got to them, and they started playing my Arms and the Angel thing.
Oh my god, that.
For me, I go to like a pretty small school, so like most of the people in my grade know about it, and it's really not too bad. It's actually kind of cool because like people actually call me DG Cubes at school, which is kind of funny. Like the people who aren't like super close with me or anything. And like there was one time that was slightly embarrassing, but it wasn't too bad. Like whenever we have to make a video for a class project or something, I upload it unlisted on like my channel or my second channel. So I uploaded it unlisted on my second channel, and then when the video ended, after we played it in class, they saw one of my videos like on the sidebar, and they watched it, and like it was pretty funny, and it was like one of my second channel videos, so it wasn't even good.
Oh.
Which was really, like, I wish they watched one of my better videos, but, I thought it was pretty cool.
I have, like, some of my friends who, for some reason, are just, like, obsessed with stalking me online, even though they, like, actually know more about me than people who watch me online, because they're actually my friends, but anyway.
Wait, we're not
it's,
actually
like, really
friends?
just
We're not actually...
Well, I mean, technically I'm not friends with my viewers, but,
Wow.
I'm friends with some of my
Boom,
viewers.
Basically, all of my viewers can go screw themselves.
We don't mean
They
that.
can all go eat a cockroach.
I never said I don't like my viewers, but, like, the truth is I can't be friends with everyone. Like, close friends with everyone. So as I was saying, my friends will just be, like, stalking my channel, and then, like, they'll crash some of my live streams and stuff.
How the heck did they find my live stream?
Oh, no, I told them about that one.
Isn't it on your Instagram?
Well, actually, there's one of them. One of them is... Oh, yeah, and Instagram. One of them is a cuber, kind of, like, he's newer, but he is a cuber, so he's,
Dale?
like, subscribed to... Yeah, he's subscribed to you guys.
Dale
too,
Earnhart
so.
Jr., the NASCAR driver.
Shout out to
Definitely.
Kale.
Shout out to Kale.
My favorite fruit.
So, from Sash the Speedcuber, for Ava, is Derpy your boyfriend?
No.
Okay, so from Yoshimura Roy Lee.
You have to put that in.
Okay, so from Yoshimura Roy Lee, he says, so my question to all of you is, should the U.S. Nationals, Euros, and Asian Championships be limited to those who are from that area? Like, as in only American citizens should be allowed to compete in U.S. Nationals? I remember getting 4th in feed at Nationals 2014 because of Louis Cormier, is that how you pronounce it? And Antoine Canton getting 1st and 2nd. And Rami Spahi got 3rd and I got 4th, which made me the runner-up U.S. champion. So what do you guys think?
I think we should build a wall on the Canadian border and make Canada pay for it. Because all their speed cubers are bidding us.
No, okay, anyway. Oh, by the way, he's been on every episode since the 3rd one, so that's pretty cool. I think the only way to resolve this kind of issue, like there's been some arguments surrounding this, I think the only way to resolve that is just to have 2 podiums.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Why not?
What's wrong with what we have now? The system works now.
Yeah.
I guess they're just saying it's like unfair because it's called U.S. Nationals, but then they have international winners and then don't like give much credit to the U.S. winners.
There was only one American person in the 3x3 podium for Nats this
yeah.
year.
Imagine in 3x3 the U.S. champion gets like an 8 average or something, and then like top 3 aren't from the U.S. and they get 7 averages. So then the U.S. champion doesn't even podium. That's kind of awkward.
And like the U.S. champion, U.S. champion doesn't even get like any kind of prize or anything.
Yeah, the U.S. champion is like from Netherlands or something. Like, imagine if that would happen.
Wait, what the heck are you doing?
What?
Imagine that. Imagine that.
What do you mean?
No, imagine.
No,
if,
you mean like he means like the winner of U.S. Nationals is like from the Netherlands, so then that makes him like the U.S. champion. Like that doesn't make any sense.
No, that's not how it
the
works.
US champion is always the person who's the best.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why the system works like it is right now. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, I think the only thing people are arguing about is that they don't get any credit then for being.
Yeah, they do. In nationals, they said, and our U.S. national champion is third place whomever.
Well, yeah,
or if the podium was all international, they would say who the U.S. champion is. So what if they don't get a prize? Tough.
Ooh,
Damn.
I guess.
Adam,
If
drop
they
it
want a
where
prize,
it
beat.
is.
I think the solution is suck it up.
yeah. If they wanted a prize, they better beat everybody else then. That's just how it works.
I guess.
I think a little solution to accommodate for Canadian cubers would be to just like, I mean, it would be a little difficult, but make it like North American championships.
But they already have Canadian nationals too.
Oh yeah.
I like the idea, Derpy. We should have that.
So
Okay.
from Derping Cubed, for Adam, why do you like sticker modding?
Sticker. Yeah, that makes you mad,
You
Derpy.
could have picked something else. Like,
Well, maybe he made the channel before you. Who knows?
That's true.
Yeah.
Derpy.
Derpy.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Ooh.
Look it up while Adam answers.
Most of the cubing community has a focus on speed cubing, so I guess just based on the fact that I'm not great at speed cubing, what attracted me to sticker modding in particular is because it's a side thing that not as many people do, and it's something that I could get good at. And I still have a long ways to go as far as like modding and stuff like that. The reason I don't do normal modding is because that's not my type of thing. I'm not really a handyman or anything like that. I wouldn't be able to do that kind of stuff very well, like Nathan Wilson would or somebody like that. So sticker modding is easier, and it lets you still have a lot of like, design. What's the word I'm looking for? A lot of different options with your designs and stuff like that. So it's still like you're designing your own cube, but it requires less physical labor than something else would. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's that. Also, something different is I'm looking into buying a machine that cuts stickers. So
I'm sorry, Derping Cubed. You started 3 months before I did.
Oh!
My apologies.
Got him, coach. Go to the cockroach.
Derpy, you copied this guy.
Yeah, come on, Derpy.
You know what?
Derpy,
I have to admit it. I did copy this guy. This cuber from Singapore.
Okay.
Just in conclusion, basically, the goal of practicing something is to be the best at it, and because I wasn't remotely good at speed cubing, that's why I transferred over to something else. So yeah.
So the next two questions are pretty much the same thing, but I figured we'd put them both because why not? So I'll just read them both and then we'll answer. Is it weird having two Daniels in the group, and has Daniel K ever referred to Derpy off cam/Mike?
He spelled Mike wrong, so yeah.
And,
No. I originally thought this question was saying, do you ever call Daniel K Cameron or Mike? I was like, what?
Yeah, I was really confused with that.
Because they spelled Mike M-I-K-E, like the name Mike.
Yeah, and they spelled they didn't spell off
yeah,
right.
they spelled off of Cam
Yeah.
or
And
Mike.
then, but then the other question asks it a little better, from Kronos Skilverbrind. For all of you, under what circumstances would you call Daniel G and Daniel K by their real name? I have noticed that you almost always refer to them as DG and Derpy, respectively, so when do you call them Daniel? Anyway, you guys can answer that.
We call them Derpy and DG, which was originally the goal of that was to not mix up the Daniels, but
Yeah.
don't call anybody Daniel.
I call people Daniel anyway.
Yeah, but it's so confusing.
Okay.
Yeah.
True. Dan always does this thing in Skype calls with me and DG. Where
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey Daniel," and we're both like, "What?" And he's like, "No, the smarter one."
Oh.
And then we both answer, and then he's like, "No, the other one." He messes with us so much.
Annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, see, before we met Derpy, we just called DG Daniel, but then, like, after we got both of them on, we're like, well, now we can't really say Daniel because that's way
not
too
my fault.
confusing.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
See, the weird thing that I've noticed is I always call him Derpy, and he always calls me DG. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even think of him as a Daniel. which is weird because we're not going to get each other confused with ourselves. So, like...
Unless you like speaking in third person.
True.
Daniel said to Daniel, "Hey, have you seen Daniel?"
Wait, but if Daniel was talking to Daniel, why would they be looking for Daniel? They're both right there talking to each other.
We're
Yeah, but
looking
maybe they're looking for Daniel Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Mr. Koki 564. Okay. How do you guys deal with wrist hand pains when cubing? They don't happen.
They
Just
do to me.
stop. Just stop.
They happen, but not because I'm cubing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, recently they started, and okay, I actually have a good way to deal with it. So I think it started more because of like how I like hold my mouse. I don't hold it the proper way, so like my wrist starts hurting on my right hand.
How do you hold your mouse?
I sort of like rest my wrist on the table, which is really bad.
It's like he moves it on the wall.
What?
But like yeah, like I move like my wrist as the pivot point instead of my elbow as the pivot point. So like, and I rest my wrist on the table, which is really bad. So I'm trying to fix that. But like a lot of times it comes up in cubing lately where it hurts. So I just switch to feet, and I do 100 feet solves, and then it feels better.
I get some wrist pains from playing clarinet because, for those of you who don't know how you hold a clarinet, you rest it on your right thumb. So, like, it's not very heavy, but still having that there for a long period of time while, like, playing or whatever, it starts hurting after a while.
Stop complaining about your instrument.
So,
Ooh.
Got him.
yeah, so then, like, when cubing, it'll still hurt, so my solution is just stop and watch YouTube, and then come back.
Yeah.
I do get like hand pains sometimes. When I'm doing 13 by 13.
You know, casually doing an average of 5 on 13 by 13.
So if that happens, I just power through it until I solve it. So.
Well,
How many
that's
times
doesn't
did you
take that
solve
long.
your 13 by 13 actually?
3, I think 3 or 4 times. Not very.
Not
nice.
even an average of 5.
It's not like I go downstairs. I'm like, I'm gonna solve by 13 by 13 and go scramble it. I don't do that. So.
And how long does it usually take? Like a week?
It depends. Like the first time it took like a month because I wouldn't sit down and actually do it. The most recent time I did it was during Park, which is a state test for those who don't know. Park is awful. So every time I would finish early, I would take out my 13 by 13, and I tried to time myself. They said reading material. I just brought in my 13 by 13. It was amusing to everybody around me. But,
I did the same thing. I asked because I think Adam took the test before I did, so I asked the teacher if I could do that, and she was like, "Sure."
Yeah. They don't care.
Inspired by
So
Adam.
I brought in my 13 by 13 and I did like a rough estimate of timing, and it took like 3 Park sessions, like 4 hours. So the fastest I can do it is around
Well,
3.5,
3
4
Park
hours.
sessions, like meaning after you finished the test.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't continuous. I wouldn't be able to sit down and do it continuously. That would take a lot of concentration.
Moving on before we
Okay.
run out of time in this episode.
So
How do
the
we
next
run out of
question-
time?
Yep.
Dude, I'm pretty sure people like longer podcasts.
I mean, like.
Yeah, I mean,
go
like,
too
okay,
long.
okay. Next question.
The next question comes from the 2x2 addict.
Is
who
that
says,
Anthony?
No, that's Miss CJ, or how do you pronounce his name?
No, it's not. It's Anthony.
No, it's not.
No, it's no.
Are you sure?
Masij is that's his name, like his YouTube
Really?
channel.
Oh, then it might be Anthony.
Yeah, it is.
Gosh dang.
Ha!
I'm stupid.
Okay, so from the 2x2 addict, how many languages y'all speak? So I'll go first. I
Of
speak
course.
English, Spanish, a decent amount, and currently I'm in the process of learning Hebrew. And after that, I would like to learn a lot more languages, so someday I'd like to be a polyglot.
I speak English and read Hebrew, but I don't understand or speak Hebrew.
Yeah.
I speak English and Russian, and I can say one sentence in Spanish.
Yes.
Lo siento, papá, nos quiero ser tu novio.
It's a little off, but good job.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's
It means-
no quiero ser tu novio.
Oh, no
if anybody
quiero ser
speaks
tu novio.
Spanish...
If you speak Spanish, I'm really sorry. If you're a father, I'm really sorry.
Alright,
Oh,
I
man.
speak English and Chinese, okay Chinese, enough to like hold a kind of conversation. And I'm learning Spanish in school, but like I really can't speak Spanish, so.
I speak English.
So the next question comes from Sugar Bob Electric. Would cubing be a cool Olympic event, and what would the rules and regulations be?
No.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool.
Why no?
No.
Who wants to watch that?
I'd love
Us.
to.
So, if anybody watches the Vlogbrothers, they recently did something on like new Olympic sports that they want to be added, and I forget who it was, but somebody said like, "Oh, speed stacking," and they didn't mention speed cubing. And I'm sorry to those who stack, but speed cubing is better than speed stacking. And
Okay,
so
well,
I
that's
would
not what this
imagine-
question is about. Like,
But if I'm saying that if speed stacking deserves to be an Olympic sport,
Speed cubing would be more accepted by the public than speed stacking.
Yes.
We're not gonna
yes.
say one is better than the other, but I'm like, you can
One
be
is
pretty
better.
sure.
I'm gonna say that speed cubing's better.
I think they should suggest philately as an Olympic event.
No, I would say that you integrate WCA into an Olympic event, and the only thing you change is that instead of everybody being able to go in, you have the best of every nation going in, and that I would watch that. That seems interesting.
yeah,
would
you
be-
would watch it, but how many like other people would?
Well, think about it. If they were televising 3x3, I think a lot of people would be really interested.
Yeah,
in
but
seeing
what about
people be
other
fast.
events?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if they should do other events, honestly. Like,
Okay, well that's
as
boring.
a-
Okay.
Oh, and
Like,
also,
okay, I mean-
also, we were talking about this yesterday. I think that for the sports commentators, they should be like YouTubers.
By the way, Adam, I think
I-
that competitive speed stacking is a lot more well known than competitive speed cubing. I think.
Yeah, because they do it
Really?
in like schools and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's why they said it. So
In terms of being accepted, I think cubing would still be more accepted by the public to be
Yeah.
a sport.
Yeah.
Stacking's
Like-
just the same exact thing.
Yeah,
Well,
because
so is
people
running,
people in
so
the
is
public are
swimming.
like, this is so pointless. Anyone can do this, etc. But with cubing, people are like, that's impossible. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
are like, how do you do that? So
Yeah.
again, like we're not saying it doesn't take skill to speed stack, because like there's no way normal people would be able to do that. But as fast as some of the other people who are world
It doesn't
class at
take
it.
skill.
But
Okay, let's put it this way. It doesn't take skill to get a 1 minute cycle, but it does take skill to get a 1 minute 3x3 solve.
kind of like you at least have to learn something. Like you have to spend time.
okay, but that's a
learning it.
time. That's a time difference though. Like. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's a time difference,
Yeah.
but still, you know.
Also, to those who stack, like what I was saying before was
You're
more
all
of a
stupid.
joke. What I was saying before was more in a joking manner. So sorry if you took that seriously. I think stacking is fine.
And
Cubing
there are a lot of
rules,
cubers
stacking rules.
who are stackers and stackers who are cubers and stuff. Like
Yeah.
well,
Same
William Orwell,
thing.
who has like
Cubing.
the all like he has
William
like half the stacking
Orwell.
world record. Yeah, Orwell,
Yeah,
whatever.
William
he pronounces.
or Orel or Oral, you need to
Or-
start cubing more.
It's a God-given talent.
Are you talking?
That's in his descriptions.
Every single description he writes, it's a God-given talent.
Yeah, but he also cubes, and he's like pretty decent at cubing too. So
Also, Mason Langendorfer is also a stacker, and he's pretty good at cubing.
I stack money and then I count it.
Wait, was Mason originally a cuber or a stacker?
I think he was a stacker, because there's... Wait, can I tell a story about this? Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many of the
might.
viewers know, but, like, I mean, I've talked to Lawrence Masserin before, Golden Archer 96 and stuff, because, like, yeah. Anyway.
Because you're cool.
Yeah, because I'm just that cool. But one time before Nats 2014, Lawrence told me to tell Mason Langendorfer that he should be at like some stacking competition that was that day. So I actually like tracked down Mason and I told him, Lawrence wants me to tell you that you should be at whatever competition it was, and he was like, whoa. Anyway, yeah, story time. Okay, so that's all we have for this Q&A. If you have any questions for us or for the guests who will be announced at the end of this podcast, leave them in the comments below and we might answer them. And now we're going to move on to another sort of controversial discussion that we wanted to have about something that happened recently, but has also just been happening in general in the cubing community, and that's how people react to things that go on in competitions. So there have been a couple instances in the recent months and years of people doing things in competitions that go against the regs and like getting DNF'd or banned or something. And we just wanted to discuss the reactions by other people, you know, the people who aren't banned and the people who aren't DNF'd and stuff like that to what's going on. Like, you know, just, yeah.
and these are people who like they're kids, like they're not older people, they're all younger.
We're all kids.
Yeah, they're all kids.
Yeah.
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 I mean, most of the
whether-
reaction is like directed at the younger people, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
The younger, ignorant people.
Yeah, I was gonna say whether it's from ignorance or just they're beginners and ignorance is not in this usage. It's not supposed to be negative. It's just
Yeah,
that
because
they
I
don't
mean, when
know.
all kids are ignorant, because you're a kid, you don't know enough about the world yet, so it's like
Yeah.
that's not like a bad thing.
Yeah. But pretty much like one thing that I have a lot of trouble with how people react to this sort of thing in the comments of these videos and stuff like that. Honestly, like, I'm gonna be blunt, a lot of the people in the comments are just being total jerks. And like yeah, like this, like, people break the WCA regulations sometimes, and that's not okay, but that doesn't mean you should be really mean to them. Like, they're gonna get their punishment. You don't need to say mean things to them. It's just totally unwarranted. They don't need that at all.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it's kind of like they don't know where to draw the line between a constructive, like, criticism comment, like, hey, this is not okay, you shouldn't do this, like this is going against such and such reg, that kind of thing. Like, that's a perfectly fine comment. It can
Yeah.
be stern, but you just can't be mean. Like,
Yeah.
there's a difference between being stern and being just a jerk.
Yeah, it's like...
it's not a blurry line either. Like there's
It's pretty clear.
either one or the other. It's not like there's no gray area there.
Yeah.
You're either being helpful with helpful intentions, or you're just trying to make fun of them.
Yeah, it's like the
It's-
difference between, say it was one of our videos, like just a normal YouTube video that doesn't even go against any regulations or anything, and you want to comment about the person's voice. You can either be constructive and say, hey, you should sound more enthusiastic, or you can say, your voice is stupid, go die. And there's a
Or
big
you,
difference.
yeah, it just be like, or like there's a difference between saying like your voice is annoying, you should stop. It's like, well, we can't really do any, like, what am I supposed to do about that if my voice is annoying to you? Like, what you
Yeah.
just saying that my voice is annoying is not gonna tell me anything about how to improve.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna accomplish anything.
Yeah.
Adam, I think your point that you always make about, what cubing really is, to put it in perspective, I think you should talk about that a little bit.
What I always say to people is when people over like exaggerate how much talent cubing takes, I say what I do is I match up the colors on a children's plastic toy moderately quickly. That's all that we're doing. I mean, and Chris made a similar point, Chris Olsen, in his video. That he said, I believe what he said, he was saying that you're telling somebody to go kill themselves based on a plastic kid's toy. And
Like, some
Yeah.
people take this way too seriously. I mean, when you have a kid who's breaking a rule, like, just think about that. It doesn't matter that this is cubing. A kid breaking a rule anywhere, you're not going to tell them to kill themselves because they broke a rule. They're a kid.
Would
They're
you tell
going
someone
to
kill themselves if they can't assemble a jigsaw puzzle?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's just totally ridiculous how people react to this. Like, it's cubing. In the end, this does not affect the world. You know, like, okay, even if this kid got the world record and he was, like, any kid, if some kid faked a world record, that doesn't affect the world. No wars are
Yeah.
gonna start. No one's gonna die
like,
over it.
I understand-
It's cubing.
I understand the initial reaction that a lot of people have that's like, this is so stupid, like, why would you ever think to do that, etc. Like,
Yeah.
everyone has that thought where it's like, how could you be this dumb? But it's like
Yeah.
another thing to take that thought as far as to just start insulting them over it.
Even if you're thinking to yourself, like, this person's so dumb, why would they do that? Just because you're thinking something doesn't mean you need to comment it. Like, I see videos so many times where it's like, this person is ridiculously dumb, or something like that. Like, I'm just sort of face palming on the inside. But, like, I don't comment that because it's, like, not the right thing to say. You don't just go to somebody and be like, hey, you're stupid. You don't need to do
Yeah.
that. It's not necessary to put all your thoughts in the YouTube comments.
So many people hide behind their keyboards and they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna say this if I can do with my fingers on some buttons that make words.
Yeah.
But
Clearly-
but like 90% of the people, again, I know this has been said, but it needs to be said again, that like 90% of the people who said things that they, or commented the things that they said, to people who've done not the greatest things in WCA regulations, would not say it to the person like face to face, because they all like to hide behind their keyboards. And
Yeah.
I try my best not to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I'd just like to make the point that in this particular most recent case, and in general, usually it occurs from a mistake by a person. The most recent one was that they didn't realize that it was against the regulations to corner twist their cue
I don't know
in a
that.
competition.
Yeah, well, we don't know that the person didn't realize, but let's just assume that the person did.
Okay.
Giving the person the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not necessary to my argument. Anyway.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, they didn't realize it or they made a mistake. You know, this person clearly is in a situation where they're already down. So kicking somebody when they're down is not a good idea. He needs, at that point, he or she needs, they need to be bolstered up. You know.
Yeah.
That's not a time to be telling somebody that they're stupid and dumb and go die.
I feel like the cubing community, like, honestly, I love the cubing community, but times like these, like, when you see comments like that, it just really makes me upset. Because, like, the cubing community can really hold grudges on people, which I don't like. Like, it's, like, people can make mistakes, and that doesn't mean they're terrible people. Or, like, people can break the regs. That doesn't mean they're automatically terrible people. Like, you know, they can redeem themselves, and I think everybody should have the chance to redeem themselves if they mess up one or two times.
Especially when they're kids. Like, if it's an adult, you know, maybe people will make the argument that, like, they're not, like, they're immature for their age or whatever. But when it's a kid, they have so far to grow still. And, like, so you can't just tell them, like, they're never going to improve, just kill yourself now. Like, like, they're still a kid. They can change so much in just a couple years from being a kid when they grow up.
Can I just say one thing that I really want to get off my chest to, like, anybody who's listening who might do this sort of thing? So, like, if you find a video on YouTube or anywhere, or find out somehow about somebody who's breaking the WC regulations, don't show it to people. Like,
don't show it to big groups of people.
Yeah. Like, if you want to show it to one or two friends, show it to them under the agreement that they're not going to share it with everybody else. Because, like, it could get out there, and that's not a good thing. What I recommend you do if you see somebody breaking the WCA regulations is you handle it maturely and tell a delegate. Don't tell anybody else. Just email a delegate, send them a link to the video. If it happens to get out from there, if the delegate puts it out, then, I mean, that's their problem. It's not yours. But, like, just tell a delegate. They're trustworthy people. You don't need to post it on a big Facebook group or something like that. Like, it's just ridiculous, and it's gonna...
The best thing to do would be to find the delegate of the competition that they were breaking the regs at. Like, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the delegates provide emails.
Yeah. I mean, but once you send it to any delegate, it'll get to the appropriate one, pretty much.
The way these sort of situations are supposed to be handled is that if something happens that's wrong, it's supposed to be reported and then dealt with. The punishment is supposed to be dealt with by the WCA. It's not somehow the community's goal to punish that person.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to receive the punishment, verbally. They're going to receive the punishment from the WCA, whether it be a ban or whatever it turns out to be.
DNFing solves.
DNFing solves, yeah.
Really,
like, that's their
people
punishment.
Who make stupid mistakes, like, trash. Like, people, like, if you made a stupid mistake, and particularly if you're younger and know less about, like, the regs or just stuff in general, then you get a lot of hate, and, you know, you're like a giant scapegoat for people to, like, just release their rage onto somebody who made a simple mistake.
And we don't want to make age like a complete excuse for everything. It's still a mistake, no matter, like, how young the person is, but there is, like, the age still plays a factor because of, you know, maturity and growing up and that kind of thing. But it's not like a total excuse for what the person did. But
it's one thing if, like, you make a mistake, you get DNF'd or something like that, and you come back and then you learn from your mistake and you don't ever do it again on purpose. But it's another thing to, like, that's what you should do, or what you should try to do. It's another thing to, you know, make that mistake, get banned or whatever, and then keep on doing that, and that's kind of dumb.
Don't ever throw hate at anyone. Like, don't do, like, the go kill yourself comments at anyone. But it does get stupider if mistakes are repeated even after a punishment.
Does anyone else think that it's more of the internet community's problem than cubing?
Yeah, I think...
I did see that comment on Chris Olsen's video.
Yeah.
I would not agree with that.
I recently talked to someone who, like like doesn't have a Facebook. You probably know who you are, but she said that like she didn't even know about this whole thing until like until Chris posted the video or something like that. It's like if you're not really in the right place at the right time, or technically the wrong place at the wrong time, then you really don't know what's going on. And people like cubers who are new and don't really know where to be or what communities to be in or like what social media platforms to go on to get like recent cubing news, they're really like completely like secluded from all this, and they don't really know what's going on, which in one way is a good thing, so because they don't really have to deal with any of that. So if you I mean, I'm in Cubing's Friends, a very big, probably the biggest cubing Facebook group ever. And like it has a lot of people who like really just like to bash other people for making stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
And if you're one of those people, don't do that, please. Another pet peeve of mine is I really don't like to. I don't want to call somebody out on this, but I will address it because I did see someone post a comment that was kind of hateful. I don't really remember what it said, but it wasn't. I mean, like, it wasn't that nice. And then they apologized in a comment after that, and then they said that like they thought all the harm was undone, and it's like it's not. You shouldn't. Just don't post a hateful comment in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, don't do something wrong and then immediately apologize. Like, no.
Yeah. One thing that especially bothers me though, like about this whole thing and like just all of these occurrences in general, is when you see like I don't know, like high profile, like well known fast or whatever cubers saying mean things. Like these people are supposed to be like the role models, you know, like the fast people and like, you know, the big YouTubers and stuff. They're supposed to be like role models for the other people. And, you know, it's not good when you see them saying mean things on those videos, because then they're just, you know, it's like, oh, this person's fast, he must know what he's doing. You know, like, that's not necessarily true. Like, don't be afraid to stand up to someone just because they're faster or older or have more subscribers, you know? Like, they're not necessarily right.
Yeah. I would like to bring up one last thing before we move on. Recently, there was a situation at the Fantastic Manhattan competition. With Square One.
Oh yeah.
And regarding age, this person was not younger. So I would like to bring up the situation. What if that situation occurred with a younger person? Do you think it would get the reaction that happened with other situations in the past?
I think
or
so.
do you think...
Yeah, I have a feeling if it happens with like some, I don't know, 5-year-olds who just started cubing yesterday, I think that person would probably end up getting a lot of hate. Whereas,
and so, the fact that this person was more well known and faster and trusted in the community, that they didn't receive that much hate for it. That shows you that anybody can make a mistake.
Yeah.
And it won't help to throw hate at them. That doesn't do anything.
Like, just because they're not known, they're not fast, they're not a big YouTuber, doesn't mean you treat them any differently.
Yeah.
And vice versa, too. Like, you don't treat, like, a lot of people kind of put YouTubers and fast people on this pedestal, which is, like, we, like, as YouTubers ourselves, we don't really want people to do that, because we don't want to be put on, like, a pedestal where people are, like, afraid to talk to us. Like, we're, like, the same normal people, and we're younger than probably a lot of people that are even, like, viewing our channels, so.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like, it's really cool when you go to a competition and people aren't, like, freaking out about you, but they're like, hey, I know you, and then they talk to you or whatever, you know, like, it's nice to have conversations like those. You know, I mean, I don't have a problem when people come up to me and they're like, yo, you're awesome, cool channel, sign my face.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, like, you know, it's just kind of nice to talk to people who don't, like, you know, freak out. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn this over to Adam Vetzer over here, as we play this game called Which Event Is This Time From? Now, the last time we played this was, I believe, episode 6 with Elise. We're gonna do a quick round because we still have one more segment after this, and this podcast is going pretty long, but hopefully you don't mind too much, because long podcasts are fun, right? So, Adam, you can take it away.
Okay, so we just want to make a quick disclaimer that, you know, we don't personally mean to offend anybody by this game, because oftentimes we may not have knowledge of the speed of certain regions of the world, or how to pronounce certain people's names. So no, like, harm is meant by this game at all, just so you guys know.
Just for funsies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the order that we're going to go in is Allison, DG, Derpy, Ava. The way this is going to work is we're going to do 3 rounds, and whoever has the most points at the end will be the winner. And if there is a tie, which most likely there will be, we will go to lightning rounds. So, let's start this off. And people are able to steal. So, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
Mo G from China got a 2.61 single on what event? 22nd in Asia.
I'm gonna go with Pyraminx.
Pyraminx is incorrect. DG. you have
And
a
then I
chance
know
to
what it
steal.
probably is.
2x2x2 Rubik's Cube.
That is incorrect.
Why would that
Wait,
be?
Derpy
That's so
Cubic.
easy
No.
Wait,
Okay,
what?
it's pretty obvious what it is. It's pretty obvious.
So then,
Yep.
So it has to be Scube.
Scube is correct.
Yay.
Derpy Cuber
Yeah.
gets 1 point, and it is now DG's turn.
No one gets 22nd in the country for a 2.6 single. Even like
Oh, I guess it is Asia. Yeah, it's all of Asia, I guess so. Yeah.
Asia's big,
Yeah.
right?
But Pyraminx, a 2.6... Oh, that's not top 100. Never mind. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
oh no.
DG Clapper. Tim Wong is ranked 8th in North America with a 39.54 average in.
Wait.
You have 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm gonna say 3
5.
blind.
Yeah,
4.
that's it.
3 blind is correct.
Awesome. I was gonna say
1 point for
4x4,
DG.
but I thought that was way too high for 4x4.
Yeah, no.
No, that was no way. What the heck?
That's way too high.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure everyone in Nats finals had under that.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Derpy, this is for you. Theo Mayer has an average of 4.12 in the world, ranked 71st in this event.
I'm gonna guess Scube average.
Scube is correct.
Yee.
Derpy has 2 points, and he's currently in the lead.
Nice.
Ava has still not have an opportunity to steal any, but it is her turn now. Felipe Medel is ranked 15th in South America with a 116.54 single in what event?
Okay, I'm gonna say feet.
Feet is incorrect, Allison.
Rank what again? 15?
Oh my
15.
god.
15th, right? Okay.
What
116,
event is
15th
this?
in South America.
10,
I'm gonna go with
5.
5 by
4.
5. That's way too.
5 by 5
That's way
is
too
correct.
high. It is.
What? That's so bad.
5 by 5 is correct.
Yeah, I didn't think it
Okay.
would be 5 by 5 because it seemed too. It
I
seemed
was
too
thinking
slow.
either 5x5 or for some reason Megaminx.
I thought it could be Megaminx. I thought it could
Yeah,
be
I
3
was thinking
blinds.
Megaminx. I was thinking Megaminx too.
I
but
thought it could be 3
decided
blind
5
though,
by
because
5.
I'm not sure how many people are good at 3 blinds over there.
Besides
Gianfranco.
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 Yeah, true. But still, like, I mean, that's just one person.
Antonio Lopez is first in Spain with a time of 53.31 single in this event.
I'm
9,
gonna go.
8, 7.
I'm gonna go with 5 by 5.
5 by 5 is incorrect.
Darn.
DG Snapper.
Oh no, I hope I can get this. I have a couple guesses, but I'm gonna wing it and say Megaminx.
Megaminx is correct.
Yes!
I knew
Oh
it.
dang!
Now, it's DG's turn. The current scores are Allison 1, DG 2, Derpy 2, Ava 0. Adam Polkowski is ranked 25th in Poland with an average of 443.62.
I mean,
Oh.
I think
Oh.
it pretty much has to be 7 by 7, so I'm gonna go with that.
That's correct.
Awesome. That was
He
easy.
has 3 points.
What rank?
Mats Valk is ranked 21st in Europe with a 10.94 single in this event.
Has to be one-handed, right?
One-handed is incorrect.
Oh, real?
Is it square one?
Square one's correct.
Nice. That's
Knew
what I
it.
would've said.
That'll be my second guess.
Cameron Hobbs is ranked 6th with an average
Sixth
of
in what?
12.2.
Sixth in what?
Just in general.
6th in
Sixth by his classmates.
in Oceania with a 12.23 average on what event? 10 seconds.
3 by 3.
3x3 is
I
incorrect.
know what it is.
Allison.
Wait, I'm gonna go like way out on a limb, and I'm gonna say clock.
Ooh.
Clock is correct.
Yeah.
Allison has the best chance of going and tying with DG currently because she can answer this correct and then just tie it up. But if DG gets it wrong, and then Derpy has a chance, and if Ava gets a steal, and
Wow,
the
you're a
guesser is
great
correct,
commentator.
then she has a chance. What?
Shut up and play the game.
All good commentators talk about every single thing that can happen before it happens. It's like in baseball.
I'm just trying to be thorough.
It's like in
Okay.
baseball. They could get a grand slam, or they could get a single, or they could get a double, or he could get a strike right now, or he could get a ball or an out. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, Allison.
Yeah.
Damian Campos is ranked 22nd in Argentina with a single of 11.26 in what event? You have 10 seconds, Allison.
Wait, I can't think of any other event. I'm just gonna say 3x3.
3x3 is correct.
Yeah!
Whoa! That's what I would have
All
said.
right.
Probably.
In
No,
Argentina.
this is really tricky. I'm giving you a minute.
What?
GG with this
Okay.
Boy!
because it's significantly more difficult. Okay. Emily Wang is ranked 5th in North America until 2010
What?
with a time,
Wait, what?
a single time of 2 minutes 54 seconds.
Wait.
0.27.
Wait. What was
Your
it?
time starts now.
Wait. No, repeat it. I'm just gonna say. I'm gonna say 6x6.
6x6 is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, boy.
DG basically just sealed it. Ready? Derpy Cuber. You have 45 seconds.
I
David.
have what?
45 seconds. David Burani is ranked 1st with a single of 3.09 seconds in Austria. Your time starts now. And what event?
What year was this in?
You can't ask that.
I can't.
Fine.
I can't tell you that.
Jeez.
Well, I can give it to you. It was at Austrian Open 2013.
Okay, so okay.
Boy.
But it's
You
still
can ask for
NR, so
competition
that
if you
doesn't
want.
really help you that
That
much.
does help a lot because that means Skew wasn't in it.
Oh, true.
Why did you say that?
Well,
that helps
why'd
a
you tell
lot.
the
You're
year?
just helping him.
Because I asked for it. It's not like it's illegal.
I can give you him the competition. You have 1 second.
Oh, Pyraminx.
Yes. Pyraminx is correct.
Yeah. 1 second.
You have 1 second.
Adam, why didn't you give me a one?
I lost track of time.
You have 1
Okay,
second.
from now on, no
kidding
year
me?
because no.
Yeah, don't give the year because that's
got
like.
him.
I can give you the competition if it has a year in it. Sucks.
Jeez.
All of them
Okay.
have the year in
I
it.
could-
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I can try again if you want.
No.
Okay.
it's fine.
Yi Wang is ranked 6th in China with an average of 1 minute 1 second .72 in this event.
5x5?
5x5 is incorrect. Allison, you have a chance to steal.
Oh no.
Gonna win the game.
I was gonna
forever.
guess 5x5.
That's incorrect. DG, no, okay?
No, I said I was. Whoa. No. Megaminx.
Megaminx is correct. We're going on to a lightning round.
Oh man. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lightning round. Here are the rules. You will have 10 seconds to answer. Whoever answers correctly, best out of 3, basically. So I'm going to give you a question, and you both have to answer it. But whoever answers it first gets the points. Best out of 3. You both have 10 seconds, so nobody gets points if it goes over 10 seconds.
How many times can you guess?
Once.
Once? Okay.
So, Chris Chan is 8th in Australia with an average of 3 minutes, 4 seconds, .19 in what event? Go.
7x7.
7x7 is incorrect.
What?
3, 4, 5,
6x6.
6. 6x6 is correct.
Oh.
Allison
Hey.
is leading 1-0. Ignacio Aron is ranked 22nd in South America with an average of 42.86 in what event?
4x4.
4x4.
Allison is correct, and she is the winner.
Yeah!
Congratulations.
Defending champion,
Allison,
bro!
wait, did you say 4x4?
Yeah, I said 4x4 right
Oh,
before
I said
you.
it like just after
A
you.
millisecond after.
Yeah.
Allison got it before you. And that's it for which event is this time from?
Okay, so now that was really fun. Good job, Allison. You beat
Thank
me
you.
fair and square.
Good job, DG.
Just kidding, it wasn't fair. It was totally rigged.
Ooh,
But yeah.
no.
Anyway, now we're going
Yes,
to
yes.
move on to my very favorite segment of all
Totally.
time. This is our final segment of the episode, and it is Cubing in the News. So this article is was sent to us by Mastermind2368. Big thanks to him for the article, him or her for the article. It's called "Guy Breaks the 5x5 Rubik's Cube Record Without Breaking a Sweat." And I guess, we don't really have any guests here, so we'll just take turns. I'll read the first one because it's super short. Felix Zemdeg solved his 5x5 cube at Melbourne Cube Day in 44.837 seconds, and the crowd went not at all wild. Okay, Derpy? You can go, I guess, Derpy.
Okay. The 5x5 Rubik's Cube, or Professor's Cube, has over 282 trivigantillion 10 to the power of 72 permutations, and requires intimate knowledge of the solving algorithms for both the 3x3 and 4x4. Even the tutorial for solving one of these complicated toys is over 40 minutes long.
What
Wow.
tutorial
All the
were they
moving-
watching?
Because of all the moving parts, a professor is also much more delicate than the run-of-the-mill Rubik's. Just watch how much more gingerly this guy treats his bigger cubes. Long story short, it's really, really difficult. Why was no one else in the room impressed?
Zemdegs, an Australian, broke the previous world record of 46.97 held by himself. In fact, what happened to his name?
They changed it. They changed it throughout the
Misspelled
article.
his name.
Yeah, they
In
spelled
fact,
it with an X in this place, but earlier
Felix-
they spelled it correctly.
Yeah. In fact, Felix has held on to and slowly whittled away at his own record for the professor since 2009, when he wrestled the title away from the comparatively molasses-fingered Dan Cohen.
Just straight wrecked Dan Cohen. Boom.
Molasses-Fingered.
Molasses-fingered Dan
Derpy,
Cohen.
he was at FMC. We should have been
Yeah,
like,
he was
"Hey
at
Dan,
Professor
you're
Cohen."
molasses fingered."
Oh my
Who clocked 107.25 as his best. Alright, Ava,
Okay.
finish it off.
Maybe everyone else at Melbourne Cube Day was too busy solving their own puzzles, or maybe watching Zemdeg's win was simply the expectation. Either way, it's a remarkable feat of puzzle solving.
Skip that little.
And in parentheses, they said, "Oh, great, this guy again," mocking
Like,
people at
no
the
one
competition.
says that. Everyone's like, "Wow, it's Zemdegs."
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like the opposite of what people do at competitions. They flock to Felix.
yeah.
Either way,
Oh, great.
it's a remarkable feat of puzzle solving, not soon to be beaten, except maybe by Felix himself.
I just want to mention the recommended stories at the bottom.
Yes.
The middle one says, "How the Rubik's Cube juggler tricked the internet."
No, that one was fake.
No, but there
That
are
actually
Rubik's
was
Cube
fake,
jugglers that
No,
are...
but that one is fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're making it sound like the whole thing's fake.
Okay, yeah, yeah. No. There's one down lower that says 35 superstars who support Donald J. Trump. You won't believe number 5. Why not?
The fastest and weirdest Rubik's Cube solutions, and it shows Kevin Hayes solving a Rubik's Cube underwater. Watch this guy breaking a Rubik's Cube world record at insane speed, and just Kevin Hayes solving a 7x7.
Watch him turn it so gingerly.
Okay, so that's cubing in the news for this episode. That was pretty good. Big thanks to Mastermind2368 for the article. If you find any hilariously bad articles, please leave them in the comments of one of our episodes, or however you can get them to us. That
preferably
would be
the
awesome.
most recent episode, because that's the one we check
Yeah.
each time. So,
Yeah.
any questions, comments, concerns, articles?
Yeah. which is a segue, which is a very nice segue into our next guest. Because you might want to leave some comments for our next guest, right? Because we're gonna need some questions for him or her. So I think it's about time that we introduce who it is. So drum roll. So our next guest is Keaton Ellis. And yeah, so just make sure to leave comments for us and for Keaton in the comments below. We're really excited to have him on. But yeah, that's really all there is for this episode. So if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can leave them down below, and that would be much appreciated. Like, share this video, and follow us on social media in order to be awesome, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening.
Okay, bye.